Spectrum.
Alert!
Spectrum.
Alert, class! Do you believe in a flying spaghetti monster too, Bubblehead?
Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of The Spectrum. Today we're joined by me, Darren.
I'm Ali, back from hiatus.
I'm Addy.
I'm Issa.
And I'm Roshan.
And as Ali said, he is back from hiatus because he is finished doing the NEA. We have both submitted it last Friday.
What are you talking about?
No, he was actually ill, right?
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
My stomach was
Yeah,
a
man.
mad one. As we know, it's my story.
So save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll
Pay
see,
extras,
Yeah,
you know.
there's no context for this, but hopefully the Patreon comes through.
Well, on that note, we like money. Money, we have to have education. Education, we need a future. Future A-level options.
What an incredible transition.
Wow.
Money, we like money. That's
Alright. Okay, so today Mustafa will hopefully come later, unless he's forgotten. If not, we can all just run over our future plans for A-level options and maybe even uni stuff if you know it yet. To see where we all want to go.
Just a note on Mustafa, he is participating in the derby, I think.
the football derby.
Oh,
Yeah, in that pitch prior to
I don't know how he's doing it. We had rugby yesterday. He's a warrior.
Right, oh, you want to talk about that?
You said you want to mention
Like
that.
rugby, so first game I injured myself 7 minutes in, and I can barely walk because my knees are swollen.
I heard they just grazed your knee on.
No,
foot.
that's not even true. The graze is barely there.
I
It's
heard
like bruised.
I heard your back got blown out.
No, my back didn't get blown out. I bruised my back, and it was my upper back.
You bruised your back?
Yeah,
You bruised your back?
yeah.
As in
Okay.
somebody bruised his back?
Yeah.
Because the ground was so
Yeah,
hard.
obviously.
Yeah.
The ground was hard, right? The ground.
Yeah, the ground was
That was
hard.
the only thing that was hard, right?
Yeah. I assume so.
Well, he wouldn't know. Okay, anyway.
I feel
what we
like
were
it's so
talking
depressing to talk about rugby because I feel like every time we talk about it, we're just like, alright, we lost another round.
Yeah, like this year we played like easy, including like individual sevens games. We probably played maybe 30 games of rugby. We've only won one.
And that was a good win because we played them pre-season, for their pre-season. So they weren't,
was that why?
they weren't, like, give them 2 weeks and they'd be better than us, to be honest.
Oh shame.
Win
No,
rate.
no, let's not talk about that. Just you know that that's the win. Okay.
Yeah, that's
win
the
rate
way.
quicker than
3-1.
And they gave us nice food. Very nice.
Did they?
What school?
It was
Uh,
UCS.
They used
They, do you know they had like some next like spyglass? So if you were to look past the field, their fields were already new as well. They just got new pitches. But then there's the schools we play at next level, man. Like private schools, even the tournament we played yesterday. We've just considering the people, the under 16s in that tournament. There was like roughly they paid over 300 million for their private school fees, and that's just considering there's 30 teams of 12, and every person paid, I think we said 25 grand a year for school. Like that is actually crazy to me. How much money?
Is that a harsh estimate? 20,000 a year?
I think that's
20?
the lowest.
No, that's 20. Yeah, we said
Really?
25.
There's a mix between boarding, like
Yeah.
private, and then also.
There must be a couple publics, so they must cancel out.
But how
Yeah,
come,
and scholarship
Yeah, how
kids.
come QE participate in these events then? If we're like
This
so.
Because of
history,
Q7s.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's like there's there are the tournaments need teams to lose. We're that team.
I remember when, in younger years, we used to be, not great, but we used to be at least good at rugby.
Yeah, do you remember year 8?
Year 8 B team was
Yeah,
different.
but B team's like, because you actually play normal private school people, not people who
Well,
are
just
gone
normal
on from
people.
a scholarship. Yeah, exactly.
B team had a good win streak going. We had like, I want to say 12 wins and 2 losses in the
Yeah,
season.
so-
Cool.
Well, then we fell off since, so.
But do you know what Finland do with their education? I'm pretty sure they get so it's like the people that would have normally sent their kids to private schools, they pay the schools because it's just state schools, and then the schools are all really nice because they get like private school money, and everyone gets to experience it.
And I think their education is really good. Number one.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
just
feel like Scandinavia
happiness.
does it alright. Like Scandinavia is healthiest, happiest.
countries. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whilst they I'll take Finland as an example. Whilst they are the happiest, they also have incredibly high suicide rates.
What?
Yeah.
It's true.
Let's check that.
I'm fairly sure.
And chat.
I was told this
By who?
By who?
by
Finnish
my
person.
father.
By the father.
By my father.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. We're just checking now.
Values further.
I don't think like a socialist
Not
country
the
like
highest.
Scandinavia, like the Scandinavian region, would work in the UK though.
No.
Yeah,
What in terms of, as in, people wouldn't pay the
People wouldn't want to
public
adapt.
schools.
Because where have you?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. They were founded on like those principles, I assume. So
Yeah.
and it was easy just to develop them. Greenland, yeah. The most suicidal rate in the entire world by a wide margin is Greenland.
And the Eastern Mediterranean is the least.
Yeah,
I don't know. We could draw our own conclusions from that. I don't know what that means.
That could be because of
like religious.
Yeah.
True. Well, nonetheless, their education seems to be good, but let's talk about ours. So, I'll start then, I guess.
Yeah.
Right now for A levels, my provisional choices are French, history, German, and maths. So it's double language. Originally, I was going to take politics over German. Yeah.
Oh no! I was just gonna say I asked my economics teacher today. We were talking about like he was just I spent the whole lesson talking about uni and A level and whatnot.
You're talking about the current account deficit as well. Like,
Oh, sorry, yeah. As a facade, we were talking about the current account deficit. But I asked him, do universities kind of regard different A levels with different amounts of kind of
respect.
Yeah,
respect, I guess. Yeah. And he said no. He said they would say you took business studies and economics. They wouldn't like that because of how similar the subjects are, but they don't really see a problem with picking politics compared to history. Obviously,
I think it
it
depends on the course. Yeah, exactly.
Courses.
Because if you take like, if you want
Yeah,
to
I
go
know,
to
but
medicine,
say you need an essay writing subject.
Yeah.
They don't see a difference between history and politics. As
That's
long
true.
as you've
I
got an A
think
star.
the skill set is more important than the
Yeah.
Yeah.
content.
I think you get the same skill set by doing history or by doing politics.
Unless the content is necessary for your course.
Yeah,
which
so
some-
if you're doing like a history-based course, then you obviously need
It'd be better.
history,
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
do you think it's fair to say history is more similar to politics than French is to German?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very linked, aren't they? I don't know about similar.
No, I would say yeah. 100%.
Similar, you could say similar content or similar style, because like languages, they're similar.
That's
in
like-
that
But
you
even the
use-
style between history and politics. Though.
Yeah, but by comparing French to German, that's
Yeah.
like comparing English to French or
Yeah,
English to
exactly,
German.
yeah.
It's a whole
It's a
different
good
language.
point. It's a good
Yeah.
point.
No, but I think the skills that you get from them are the same though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you're
Yeah.
if you're taking French or German and you want to take that for like one of those language like based course, then obviously they're much different. French is much different to German. But I think that history and politics are closer together than French and German.
I just want Darren in my politics class, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in that because basically there were a lot of people considering politics early on.
Yeah.
A lot of people, right? And that class would have been sick, especially with the goat, and you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. It would have been fun, especially for me because if I segue onto my choices, they're all STEM, so it's a huge workload. Maths, biology and
I was
chemistry.
just going to say another thing our economics teacher said was that with the humanities subjects, the workload's bigger, but the STEM subjects they're just harder. They'll obviously be
Yeah,
kind of a bigger
that sounds about
workload,
right.
but STEM they're just harder, I guess.
Wait, so what were your 4 options?
So currently, as I said, maths, biology, and chemistry, and I was stuck between further maths and politics, but I ended up choosing further maths.
So you're one of the BCM further.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then why did you buy further maths? Like what do you want to do?
So like, I talked to people, and they said that further maths is regarded really highly because it's a really hard A level, and so people think you've got commitment, you've got smarts, obviously. Smarts, that's the
Intelligent.
formal word. So that's why I ended up picking that, and I'm going to go into medicine. So, you know,
Further
it
maths
is-
works well with it.
yeah, competitive as hell, isn't it?
But I thought that they don't look at further maths if you do maths already for like university. I thought that's what the thing was. Like as in, I know how to explain it, but if you take maths already, I think that's like already enough. I didn't know that.
I think it's
Medicine,
not
maybe.
necessary. It's not necessary to take that.
But also, if you just if you don't think about the kind of what people think of different subjects as, if you just think about yourself as an individual, surely it'd make you a lot more happier to do like politics, which is easier and a lot less stressful and like you
Variety as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then like
I
force
was
yourself to
thinking
do
about
further
that,
maths.
It's not that I don't enjoy maths in general, and I've seen my brother with further maths. It's not actually that bad, especially because some of the stuff you do not at GCSE level, but like GCSE level with subjects other than maths. So stats, business,
And of course, you've taken the
economics,
stats GCSE as well.
non-stats. So I know some of it.
And
If
of
it's
course,
a start.
our maths teacher's very.
Oh, he's inspirational, really.
He really loves
Right.
further
Who's
maths.
your maths teacher?
He shall not be named on this podcast.
We'll give the initials N, S. Just for context, if you do recognise this.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Mm.
So Adi.
Yeah. So you know how I was saying,
I do know.
yeah, you know how I was saying like that third maths thing. I want to go into dentistry, right, which is
Mm.
very similar to medicine, but also has like a lot of differences. So for me, I want to do biology, chemistry, history, and then either I was going to do politics. But like for me, I can do any, like that fourth subject. It could be anything. But for me, specifically when applying for university, they have like a specific statement saying that if you take maths, further maths is like pretty much disregarded, or like they don't count that as a thing. And for dentistry as well, like for medicine, maths is like it's not a core subject, but it's like
It's
very
just
well,
highly
yeah,
recommended.
yeah. For dentistry it isn't, because like for me I'm set 7 maths, so like, maths isn't my strong
No,
point.
but I feel like that's a problem with our school.
Exactly. We think we're not that good.
Like realistically,
But-
if you'd step into any other school, you'd be set 1, and like there's so many people who go to just state schools that can get A stars and get A's.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like I feel like that's a big problem with our school.
I mean,
Like,
like-
yeah.
in your most recent maths test, what grade did you get? If you okay,
No, but even then, the tests
the
are
tests are so
so
much
much
harder.
like
The
they're crazy.
IGCSE is standard.
No, it's 100%. Like I know that they take IGCSE because I've seen some of the questions. Like with this mock and the one before that, some of the questions were actually in IGCSE papers. They just adapted it slightly, making them less marks.
No, for me,
Which makes
it's
it
like,
harder.
I reckon I could, if I revised, I could get like a 9 in
Yeah,
maths.
easily.
No, I think you could.
But getting A star is a different question. I don't think I'll.
A level.
No, not even A star, but just having that commitment of doing maths.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think you kind of have to love the subject.
Yeah, I do not love maths. Unfortunately, I do not love it. So
Okay.
yeah, so for me,
That's fair.
I'm more like biology, chemistry is there.
But for dentistry, you need your core, like your, I don't know how you describe it, your core STEM subjects to be really good,
Yeah.
especially at GCSE level, because you have to take the BMAT,
Yeah.
and so that's got a lot of GCSE physics, chemistry, and biology, and I assume maths comes into.
For dentistry you have to do. I'm not sure if you have to do BMAT.
You do have to do.
You have to do
Yeah,
BMAT.
for certain universities.
Oh no, because I was looking at King's College and you have to do
You
UCAT,
can.
and then their one isn't like, it's more like, so there's like 4 things for it. So it's like a situation,
Situational judgment.
yeah, and then there's like they're giving you like a sequence. So do you remember
Oh, it's
that?
like non-verbal
yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah,
Do you remember the
Yes,
quiz
yes.
we did?
It's,
How we
it's
got
very
Al's and
similar to
Rig?
that. It's very similar to that.
Oh, that was incredible.
wait, was it the £10 Amazon voucher?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Z got 15 quid from it.
15.
And I got
yeah.
0.
I got
What was
10,
this?
I got 10 from that.
So the school, like there was an external woman, from, I think UCL.
Yeah.
That was doing.
Catherine
Yeah.
Hill at UCL. Let me tell you
Yeah.
about that.
Obviously, I just didn't give you your money.
She
got ripped off.
Scammed me.
So she was conducting scientific research about, I think, autism and how children with autism and without autism think. And there was like a range of the end was like verbal reasoning. Sometimes it was like telling if people were lying or not. There was
Yeah.
one exercise on triangles. Did you guys have that as well?
Yeah.
Like, are
That
they
was
sad?
so
Are they getting
bad.
bullied?
Oh yeah.
No, wasn't it the triangles where they were moving away
Yeah,
from someone?
yeah.
That was so stupid, man.
Yeah, it was emotional, bro. You had to feel it.
Yeah, because I was doing some UCAT questions just because I wanted to see what it was like, and it's very, very similar to that. And some of them are really like, I was really confused on how this is really going to apply. Like for example, what's the next sequence in a triangle? Does it belong to this sequence? Is this triangle
I
going to
think
be
it's something
upwards
about
or
the
down?
competency.
mentality.
It's the mentality, I know, but sometimes I'm just thinking like, will this really like?
That's why lots of universities, when they look at that, they look specifically at SJ, situational judgment, because that's important.
Yeah, that's really important. But the thing is, for example, if you want to do, like, I'm specifically talking about King's College, so that's the one I want to go into, King's College London, which is like the top like dentistry university, And then for them, they don't necessarily look at your score, but they look at like what band you're in.
Yeah, the bands, yeah.
And you think you have to be in the top 2 bands. And then for me, it's just a bit. I don't understand because in
That makes more sense.
No, yeah, it makes more sense.
The bands.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like, for example, if you're lacking in like, I don't know, your non-verbal reasoning, but you're good at situational judgment, but you like make like the second band, or like you just miss out, and they're just not going to look at you because of that. It's a bit unfair. But at least they don't look at like scores; they just look at bands, which I think is better. So yeah, Issa, what about you?
With the A levels, I'm generally not sure. Like, I know I'll be interested in politics and economics, so I want to take those 2, and it makes sense to take maths because, yeah, and our school has the off system as well. So the only STEM subjects at school that will let me do is chemistry and maths, and I'm not sure about chem, man. So
Chemistry is really hard.
Yeah.
I
So,
think it's one of
yeah.
the hardest A levels.
Yeah, I've seen
It's
the
hard
jump-
unless you love it.
Yeah, the jump between GCSE and A-level chemistry is much greater than, for example, like another subject. Let's say like history or something.
Yeah.
Like
For STEM is quite
for STEM,
defined.
for every
Since
single
physics,
all the
Year
jumps-
13 physics.
yeah, 13 physics is long.
I think that you actually need to love subjects like chemistry or biology or physics for you to actually excel in that.
So what are you currently thinking about loving, Issa?
So I know I'll learn to love politics and economics.
Liking
If you don't love it already.
Shut up.
Well, I've explored those 2 subjects enough to know whether I love them or not. But for the 4th one, I have no idea because I feel like I'm much more suited to essay writing subjects, but I feel like that might be too many essay writing subjects.
History, politics, econ.
What are you trying to go into?
As a degree, I'm thinking law or PPE, or maybe politics and economics. I'm not sure.
That's what our econ teacher did.
Yeah, but I was speaking to him and he said he would have rather that he did PPE.
Than politics and economics.
Yeah.
PP's
Yeah.
quite the best
HSPS.
as well.
I'm also thinking of doing PPE
Okay.
because I'm thinking of doing the exact same as Issa. Oh, maths, econ, politics, and then also history.
So so the thing is, do you not think that would be a bit much?
No, I think depending on my enrichment course, because either EPQ, LibF,
Yeah.
which is a personal finance diploma, or
Is that what it is? Is it just personal finance?
Mhm.
So
Or-
isn't it to do with like banking as well?
no, it's just like your
Yeah.
car insurance. how to-
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
that
that's-
seems like a waste of time.
No, I think that's really useful.
No,
In my opinion.
so many people like try to jump on this bandwagon
Yeah.
of saying, "Oh, school doesn't teach you how to deal with."
It doesn't.
Realistically, even
taxes."
if they did teach
Yeah.
you wouldn't listen.
Yeah, and like what's like
No, but I think what Roshan's saying is that it might not be like useful if you're applying for a job or something.
Mm.
Like EPQ would be better, but I think like learning about your car insurance and all of this is, I think, better.
It'll
quite
make,
well.
it'll make you a better person because
Exactly.
you know how to do taxes, you know how to do all of the small stuff.
Yeah.
But studying something like that in school, I don't.
yeah, it just
I
doesn't make
see.
sense. You can just like
Where else
wiki
would you
how
learn
that
it?
on the
Yeah,
internet.
well,
Learn from my friends.
I know, but I'd rather learn it in school than have to wiki how it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what's the
No,
argument?
but
against
it's
that?
also the thing is with LibEv, people say that you have to practically teach it to yourself at home.
That is true.
I mean, it also teaches independence.
because you only get one lesson a week.
Yeah, and it depends about paying your taxes. Like,
I think
that's the
what
same with-
17-year-old is trying to
That's the
learn.
same with EPQ. Like
And
you have to
EPQ,
research all
yeah,
yourself.
You have to do it yourself. You have to type up yourself.
I mean, what do you want to do for it? So, just to clarify, for our school, you also have to do one extra curricular on top of your 4
Yeah.
subjects. So, you can either do EPQ, LibF, which is what
Yeah.
they described, USP,
Which is like university.
university prep something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sports leader.
Sports leaders.
And then also AS further maths.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Why would-
Is it just those 5?
bit of an L rating.
So, what are you
Yeah,
planning
so
to do, Issa?
I think if it's up to me, I'll do the EPQ.
Yeah, so
I enjoyed doing the HPQ as
I'll
well.
do USP.
USP.
I'm not doing EPQ.
Why not
Then
sports
EP
leader?
Oh, I would do that as well.
Yeah, that
but
seems
I would do that if other people did that.
Yeah, you need the right group for
You
that.
need people to.
No,
to
but
actually
I feel like the
communicate.
school are kind of like annoying about what pictures you can use.
And either way,
Yeah,
you've
so
got
just
free
play
periods, so you're gonna do that anyway.
Mm.
Oh, is it?
Sports, yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
Year
We
12
have,
and 13
uh,
free periods.
But for me, so I quite like. So I took obviously French, German, history, maths,
Yeah.
and I'm planning to take French and history at uni. That would be like the dream. So if I could do an EPQ on the history of France or some
Oh,
specific
yeah, that's-
history in
yeah,
France,
that's
it would complement well and
Yeah,
just
that's
make me stand out. So I mean, that's my logic behind it.
Yeah. You'd get to go to France, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather
What would you
do
in France?
French than German?
I like French over German, personally.
I know
Not the
what
history,
I know
not the
what
history of
I'd rather.
Germany.
No, okay, history of Germany is more interesting, but French colonialism is also like a big thing.
I think
And
French colonialism is just so far back that we just don't really tend to study it.
how far back do you think French colonialism was?
300? Not 300?
No, no,
It's like
no.
1900s.
Yeah.
No, like
Where's
17,
that?
1800s, that was Napoleon.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
That's my word.
But I mean, right now,
But France was a huge. I saw a video recently. France was a huge power. It was like
Yeah, same.
had double the population of
I saw
UK
that, yeah.
during the Industrial Revolution.
I saw that one oversimplified.
I love oversimplified.
Oversimplified French Revolution, French colonialism video.
But when was the French Revolution?
What, 1770?
17.
That's why I remember that 300 years.
That was seven. That was like
That's
the
not
French
bad.
Revolution
Yeah.
of their leader, but I think Industrial Revolution came after.
That was who, Louis XVI?
Yes.
Yeah, he got
And
beheaded.
his wife to do with like cake.
Mary
bread
Antoinette.
and stuff.
Cake, bread.
Anyway,
Anyway,
let them eat cake.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
famous.
That's a famous misconception, right?
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Because I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like, it wasn't gâteau, which is the word for bread, for cake. It was, I don't know, I'll have to research it. Probably like a croissant, I don't know. Croissant?
I thought that was their bread.
Yeah, I think it was pastries.
Oh, okay. But
I thought it was
Dan,
pastries.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you want to be when you're older? So what's the ideal?
Oh, so if I were able to do French and history at uni, I'd love to do a postgraduate law conversion after
Okay.
and become a solicitor. So I'm looking for work experience now, which is very tough if you're 16.
Yeah, I've messaged like emailed 30 firms, and it's like law firms
Yeah.
for work experience, and it is unbelievably hard. It's like majority of the stuff aren't for our age; it's for the year
Yeah.
above, and everything that is for us is usually for groups in like just people who come from poorer backgrounds and like people whose parents haven't gone to university, for example.
Like kind of enrichment for them.
Or yeah, to give them more social mobility.
Yeah.
And it's like it is
You need
very
to know
hard.
someone, I think.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know nowadays, like for example, like me and Ali are quite similar. Cause he wants to do medicine, I want to do dentistry. It's like quite similar. For us nowadays, COVID is like a really big
Yeah, definitely.
limit to what
It's a
you can do.
limit, but it's also something that you can talk about. So like, doesn't really apply to us because we'll have experienced COVID in our lower school years.
Yeah.
But for like my brother's year, 2 years ago, they experienced the whole thing during their like year 12, 13 time. So he could easily talk about what he did in COVID and how that's affected us and how he was able to get work experience in COVID, how he was dealing with it. It was like quite easy
Yeah.
to just manipulate that COVID situation.
That's
Yeah.
I find that kind of sad. I feel
Yeah.
like people. I know you have to, but it's so competitive that people volunteer in like COVID test centres just to put it on their CV.
I mean, but it's better than no one volunteering.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true,
That's
but it's
true.
just weird to me, isn't it?
I mean,
Well,
there's no one that's losing the situation, right?
Yeah,
people
well,
get experience and
yeah, I
people
guess,
get
yeah.
the vaccine or whatever.
Yeah.
I know someone, she's like, I don't know, 20 now. So she wanted to help out with vaccines. So she was going to deliver them because she's training to be a doctor. The problem is that she's actually scared of needles. So
no, that's a legit thing. Like,
Yeah, I know, but like, why do you want to be a doctor? Just kidding.
No, but
By delivering vaccines, what does that?
she's the one that actually like shoves it in.
oh
there.
yeah, not
Yeah, I thought she meant like
Oh no.
transporting the vaccines.
So yeah, that was a bit questionable, but each to their own, I guess.
But like for me, for me, work experience. So for example, my aunt's a dentist, so she has her own like practice. So then for me, it was that I just had to call up my aunt and say, "Oh, listen, I'm looking for work experience." And then, but the thing is, she said it's like it's not as easy as you think to just for a random 16-year-old to walk around the dentist and just shadowing them. Like the dentist always has to be with you at all times. You have to like, have all these COVID checks, blah, 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 all of this. And then even at 16, it's really hard. Like I know like people say it's easy to get a job when you're 16 because like there's like because of like COVID and because of all of this, like people are looking for people to help out, right? But I feel like it's really hard to do stuff which you want to do when you're older, I guess.
There is a lot of formality around it. Like even I one of my aunts is a solicitor, and I spoke to her, and she couldn't get it for me. I was able to find it somewhere, and like after doing employment law, and I have to sign like NDAs
Yeah.
for it. It's just a week of work experience. I'm 16 years old,
Yeah.
but it's like I guess it is a good introduction, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a question for Darren again.
Oh.
Wait, because you want to do law and Eastern. Roshan, I guess. You
To an extent.
Yeah, no. Why does law A level, like, why is it so
Okay,
like
you start saying that.
kind of like disregarded, even though
Is that a law?
I think
yeah,
there
the
is.
skills that you learn in a law A level, I don't know, I haven't researched this, but and the skills that you learn as a law course, as a law degree, I believe that they'll be very different, right? Because what you learn from like a law A level, right? You learn, I imagine, similar to politics, to be honest, about like the law system. But when it comes to law degrees, you have to learn about like actually becoming a lawyer. So it's a difference because, like, for example, that's why, I don't know, medicine A level isn't big, because you're not learning to be a doctor at that age, you learn to be a doctor.
A level?
Surely that's a thing.
I don't think so.
I mean,
Otherwise, everyone in our
Yeah,
school.
everyone.
And maybe there's a reason there's no medicine A level, right? Because you're not at that age where you can choose a job or profession and be sure about it.
I feel like that's practically what A levels do to some extent. Because if someone, like, you still have to make a massive decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in a year's time, I can't really go back and say, actually, now I want to do medicine.
That's why
Yeah.
I think I have an opinion that the American school system might be better than the UK, because even in university they do like a range of subjects, like six,
your
like
major,
five
Your majors
subjects,
and
a
minors.
major
and
in one.
minors.
Is
That's quite
that
smart.
more work, though, or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because you're just doing one work on one subject.
Yeah.
That will be like very specific on the jobs you can do. If you have like minors in other subjects, you can work in lots of jobs.
So you change your minor into like a major.
Yeah, you can. I think you can change midway through, like your major to your minor, or your minor to your major.
I think the Harvard college system is definitely, not Harvard, sorry, the American college system is definitely probably better, if not the same, as the UK system. But when it comes to their actual, like, their high school or secondary school system, I don't like the things where they have like AP classes for like it's basically their version of the set ones, but
Yeah.
they actually learn different content.
Or like honors students.
Honors students, yeah.
Right. But I think their whole system of GPA, that's a lot smarter.
Yeah. I like the
Because
GPA
you
system.
could have an off day. Like realistically,
Yeah.
you could have an off day doing a history exam.
Why are you looking at me?
And unfortunately, that would
Yeah,
be detrimental.
off
wouldn't
day,
it?
man.
Yeah, I do, man.
And Roshan, you could have an off day.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true. And that.
And
that
Darren
would
as
affect-
well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that would affect you like massively sometimes.
If you had the choice to do a history GCSE in the similar to like a HPQ where you do a long-term essay project, I'd like that so much more.
100%. Yeah.
Even if everyone covers the same topic.
Like coursework in general.
I really like the fact that everyone covered different topics.
I don't like that, because
Why?
I guess
you could just pay a tutor to do it for you.
And I bet a lot of people did do that for HPQ. They paid.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
certain man just copied it, like just.
It depends on like the specificity of like your topic,
Yeah.
and if the tutor can do that.
I'm pretty sure I know a couple of people that just paid other people to write the
What,
essay for
I
them.
know
seriously?
some people got it off their like brothers and
I
stuff.
didn't even think about that. Why didn't I think about that?
Would you have done it?
I would.
Would you want to run the risk
No-
though?
no
'Cause
comment.
is
It's
it
not worth
assessed
it.
by
There is no
AQA?
risk. There is no
I
risk.
don't.
No, but okay, no. Imagine there was. If it's assessed by AQA, that would mean that you'd be disqualified for your sciences, your languages.
Exactly.
History?
History, yeah.
You get disqualified from everything from
But-
the board.
Let's
exactly.
be honest, HPQ is 2K words, that's 3 sides. It's
Exactly,
not worth
it's-
cheating.
not that bad.
It was only 3
It's only like 3 sides.
I didn't understand the production process for that.
The production
I really-
process.
I was
Yeah.
waffling. I was waffling.
Yeah.
100%.
I was really nervous for that. I thought I wouldn't get an A star because I didn't really write much for that.
I think they deeped it too much, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah.
Our school, I think they put a lot of emphasis on getting at least 15 sources. Like that's
Yeah.
realistically you probably didn't need
I think
that.
I did most of mine like 2 nights before.
Yeah.
Same.
Like,
You could do your HPQ in a weekend.
Yeah, probably.
I think there's just different people.
Yeah, but
like,
it'd be a depressing weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to do like over 6 months doing it like how they ask you to do it, or carry on with the map?
Over 6 months.
I feel like it's not 6 months of work.
It's
Like,
no,
definitely not.
I'm-
That's the point. It's not meant to be 6 months of work, so that it's
Yeah.
easier to do it.
I'm
over 6
thinking
months.
more about the NEA, for example, because I know some people would just doing it like 2 nights before. They were like they didn't come to
Yeah,
school just.
I-
to-
Yeah, who is
Playing
small?
truant. Okay, let's.
I also knew some people who were doing that, and why? Why
Carry on.
I'm being looked at anyway.
Because you're
Um,
speaking, Ali.
Right. Yes. So they were also like they weren't the happiest when they were doing it, but realistically they had like a year before, and sometimes they just have teachers who like who they said did not like encourage or give them deadlines and stuff. And sometimes they had teachers who would give them deadlines and then they wouldn't look at it. Because the thing is, with the NEA, you're not allowed to have direct feedback. That's It just gets confusing. What is the line for feedback? Some people would define that line as being like anything, or some people would just say feedback is when I directly type in your words, like something like that.
Yeah, everyone has their own definition for like, and I'm sure different teachers within the DT department were given varying levels of support. But I'm just thinking, isn't the art portfolio for you guys due next Thursday?
No, it's not. I feel like the art's a bit more relaxed. It's kind of for people who want to take
a bit more relaxed, far more relaxed.
Yeah, a bit more of a laid-back approach.
We've had like a year and a half.
Yeah, that's literally what we do, our portfolio. And it's like, we have a day where our head of arts invited us to come in during the holidays.
You have no exam.
Yeah, there's no exam. No, but that doesn't work in our school's favour.
No.
Oh, yeah, definitely not for us.
In general, yes, but not for our school.
It's a benefit to those who are creative, but detriment to those who are studious.
It's a benefit to those people who
wise words.
Yeah, who enjoy art and like just do it in their free time.
Yeah.
But like in a boys' grammar school, no one really does.
I think especially if you see people's art portfolio, like GCSE art portfolio, not in our school but in other schools. They do so much.
They are talented.
I see on TikTok all the time.
We are not very good at art.
I think it's because the way that we have our journal and the way we explain stuff and like use whatever this. I think that's what gets us the 9s. Because I feel like
I don't know if we'll get it.
That analytic stuff.
It's like texture.
It's like.
I want to see your guys' portfolios because I see them all the time on TikTok, like the people that do like the pop-ups and everything. They go the extra.
We don't even
miles.
have we have anything. Ours is online.
Oh no, I've printed it.
I've
got like 4 folders.
I think it might be something to do with gender as well. Obviously, this isn't.
Typically speaking.
Typically speaking, I mean,
it
tends to not be.
Definitely QE. You can see throughout our previous like exam scores, we do better in like the STEM-based subjects. We're definitely a STEM-based school. You can see with like. I'm pretty sure only like 10-20 people not taking maths A-level at our school.
Oh yeah.
And that's me.
The minority.
Just like that, we're on to our next topic.
That was smooth, Ali.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Transgender sports and that stuff, because we had a recent little article coming out. Was there an article?
Yep. I'm just trying to find it now.
It was about somebody Thomas.
Lea Thomas. So
who used to be William Thomas. Was it William? I believe so. Anyway, transitioned to a female.
To a woman, yeah.
And known for swimming. She achieved her first place.
Yeah. What was it in?
University competition.
University swimming.
Oh, I thought she was like the number 1 rank. Yeah, like in the whole world.
No. It's obviously a big thing, but it's not like international level.
No. I think America takes their university swimming.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
all
that is
sports,
so sick. That is
Yeah.
honestly so sick. I wish we did that here, but realistically, it wouldn't work out.
I mean, we do, and we do it badly.
Yeah.
We can't because without any like drafting system.
Like
What drafting?
Exactly.
What D1 athlete?
If there was, then
university basketball here does exist. It's just not popular at all.
No.
That's because the actual league of basketball is dead.
No, I've actually seen it. It's actually relatively good. It's not.
No,
nothing
So
compared
what's
to
that
the
guy
NBA.
from Love Island?
Nothing compared
Ovi.
to the NBA.
Ovi, yeah.
The only thing I know is that year 7 went to watch Cambridge versus Oxford for rugby. That was kind of okay.
But that's
varsity.
not a university.
It's different.
That's
what is
just
it?
a university playing. It's
That's
not,
like a friendly rather than that like full-on tournament.
Plus, it's Oxbridge.
Mm.
So
But going back up to this, so Lea Thomas, she I believe won. What was it?
first place in university swimming competition thing.
Yeah, and there was big uproar against that because there were loads of cisgender women that were like competing and lost to her, and people were complaining. And I believe in the end, I want to say mayor of Florida, something of Florida,
Governor
of Florida,
yeah.
overruled.
And was it second place? Or did she just get disqualified entirely?
I don't know, but she didn't win.
Because she was 400. When
Before
let
she
me word this. When she was a he.
No, but I think
Before she transitioned.
Before she transitioned, she was 450
seconds, I think.
50 seconds, yeah, something like that. So it wasn't as impressive back then, but then when she transitioned, now she's first place. So what do we think about that?
Okay, so are we going to raise this the wider like topic of transgender people in sports?
Yeah, I think we should.
And I guess we mostly focus on trans women because they obviously when men they had biological advantage of having like testosterone and not as wide hips because they're not
Wider
childbearing.
shoulders.
Yeah.
That's a biological advantage.
I think we should do trans women in like high level sports. Yeah.
Are we gonna just say sports in general, or are we gonna talk like because
We can talk
weightlifting? is
society,
quite-
but
We
society
had
is
this-
quite wide.
We had this debate in PE like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I remember our PE teacher was saying how his partner was complaining that she plays in like a Sunday league, and there was someone who transitioned, and they scored like 4 goals against her team.
No,
And she wasn't very
but
happy.
this is Sunday league. I think
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
I think
yeah.
but first in like an amateur setting, I don't think it really matters that much.
No,
Like,
amateur
everyone's
definitely
there. Yeah, everyone's there playing for fun.
Or are we thinking higher level though?
For high level,
Would this university competition be considered high level?
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely higher than Sunday league.
Wait, what was it? Like a sports university? Was
Yeah,
it like a
I know.
D1 or something?
I think so.
I don't know the specifics, but it looks like quite a big thing.
Florida as well.
I think all university
Whoa, whoa,
sports
whoa.
in,
Mad things happening.
in the US, they're all taken seriously. Like they're all taken on
Even
scholarships.
in general, yeah.
University of Pennsylvania. I personally don't see a problem with that. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Right, so I think we should go around saying,
Okay, so yeah.
what is it, for or against, should we say?
Okay, I'll go first.
So for trans women or
So,
against trans women in
I'm-
sports?
I'm against trans women in sports because their competitors who are cisgendered women, they train their whole lives, their weekends trying to do well, and they're just getting beaten by someone with genetic advantage, which they can't control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isa?
Realistically, like I don't actually care. But
Okay, you can abstain.
No, but I think like it should go through like a kind of democratic process where the people who compete and like the coaches and whatnot, they come together and they reach a census. Cause I guess that's fair. Because if the people don't mind, then that's the problem sorted. You can compete.
That's true. For me, it's quite difficult because I understand Darren's point, like how they are women at the end of the day and they should be able to compete in a sport which is for women. But I also understand Roshan's point saying that if they have, because there's a difference between like a genetic advantage and this biological advantage. Like for example, people can have like genetic advantages. Like for example, Issa Ahmed, like he has a really big genetic advantage, being
He's a
like
specimen, really.
6'5" and massive arms. Yeah, so that's not really.
Like
just
there's
wonder-
nothing you guys can do
Yeah,
about
about
that.
it,
I guess.
yeah. But a biological advantage when you know you're just far better than the competition, like you stand out, and it's solely because you've transitioned, right? And then like there's no beating around the bush. Like the men are going to be stronger, faster, bigger than the women, and as a result, will beat women in a not beat women, but like but they will come in first place when against a woman, for example, in swimming or like or running or something. And then I think so. For example, I'm not sure about this particular case, but if the person who goes from a woman to a man to a woman, I'm not sure about like the hormones or something, but if they still have all that like testosterone and stuff, which makes them.
Is it the testosterone?
Yeah,
just solely.
I think
No,
that's-
and also their body
Shoulders.
shape.
Yeah.
Shoulders are wider, hips are.
Their bone structure.
So in reference to the hormones, right, with testosterone. So I think with this case, they had like you have to be on hormonal like suppressants or something like
Isn't
that.
there like a certain thing? Because there's even there are
there's that
even
level
like
of estrogen.
cis
Women.
women who are like athletes who are above us above a certain level of testosterone, and they just weren't allowed to compete even though they were
Yeah, I know that's one Jamaican.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
Did she deadlift?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a sprinter. Yeah,
Oh.
and then she just
I
had such
think
high-
that's unfair.
No, it's South African.
No, but
The South
how can you control that?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
unfair. She should be allowed to compete. I feel like
Would these women be allowed to take hormonal suppressants then, the cis women?
But then
she should be able.
depends.
Yeah, she shouldn't be forced to take them.
She shouldn't be forced to.
Yeah, because
but,
then
no,
they
but it
don't-
also depends how much does it suppress. Is it by like a random amount? Is it like to a
No,
start?
it's random.
I think it comes to a certain level. It just comes down to fairness, doesn't it? Because
No, but she's still
But
got
someone's gonna
the
win.
physical advantage.
yeah, somebody's got to win. So if you bring everyone down to a certain level,
Exactly.
Or maybe there should be
Yeah.
free leagues. There should be free leagues. cis
Man,
cis man, cis woman, and
trans.
Yeah.
I think
or not
No,
even
trans
just
man and
or
trans
just
women.
people who don't mind competing in like a.
But then you can just switch it.
yeah, no, because there is combined. Because I remember for the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics, for the first time there was like a men's and women's combined relay for swimming.
How did that go?
No, but they have to have a certain amount of
I
women.
know,
women,
they
so-
have to have like one woman on the team.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, do you know what I mean? It's a bit,
No, I think 3 leagues makes the most sense to me.
yeah.
No,
Or
no, four
four leagues.
yeah.
4 leagues. Okay.
Wait, what's the fourth league?
trans
men.
women.
Trans men.
trans
Oh, that.
When you were talking about the woman that had too high, like a cis woman that had too high
Yeah.
hormones, I think that's more of a problem with like the actual people that organised it, right? Because if a cis woman who was born a woman doesn't like is like too high for like to compete in her
She's
own.
too high.
She's
Her, her levels are too,
Her level is too high.
her level is her hormonal levels are too high. Then surely that's a problem. That should be like the upper limit for
I
how.
don't think that's a problem.
I don't think that's a
Yeah,
problem.
it's not.
Do you think
She'll just be allowed.
she should be allowed to
exactly.
compete, right?
She's
Yeah.
built different.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with the regulations. So
Yeah.
it should be.
Yeah.
So surely they should just like change the regulations to allow all women,
Exactly.
and then that max woman should be like,
Yeah, so that's the upper bound, and
and then that's the bounds
that's
that the
that
trans
they
women have to.
meet, Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
No, because they. But
No.
the trans women still have the physical.
Yeah, it's not about.
Yeah.
It's not just about hormonal.
Yeah.
It's
True.
like conditions.
Well, I think 4 leagues.
4 leagues.
Yeah.
4 leagues would make sense.
I mean,
separation
Okay,
is-
when we really think about it, that's a bit crude, okay? But there's like a whole league for like people in wheelchairs, okay? There must be
It
like
makes
a
a
whole
good
league
point.
for like trans
Makes a
women
good
and
point.
trans.
Yeah, that's true. No, but also another thing, like all these like Olympic sports, I don't think they really make much money at all.
No.
No,
No,
Olympic
that's not-
athletes.
That's not the point.
Apparently, if you don't win gold, then you're basically working part-time jobs. Because I've seen like on TikTok, there's a lot of Olympic athletes that are like bronze medal winners that are just working on like Uber just to deliver people because it doesn't pay enough. And you only get money from your country if they choose to give you money for winning a medal. Like there are some countries that just don't give you any money even if
I
you
was speaking to this the other day with Tara, and he's like, "Oh, I think it was China, the guy hurdles who won their gold medal, like their first gold
Yeah.
medal, and he's like the face of all the adverts. So it's like,
Yeah, they're weightlifters now
But I'm,
because they're winning all the gold medals.
Yeah.
Mm.
They
But I know-
they earn the money.
I know. Sorry, I know in China it's very, very difficult to become Olympian. Because
it's crazy.
Don't they
from
like
like
they
They
teach
get,
you
like-
and train you?
Yeah, and it's like if you don't make it, I'm pretty sure you just let go at like
Gone.
yeah, and you might be.
But it could be
homeless.
like you could be like 7 and they just let you go because you're not like.
You also just have to think how many people actually live in China. It's over 1 billion, right? And
Yeah.
that's why they always do so well in the Olympics because they have such wide range of.
Yeah, they've got so many people to pick from.
Exactly.
But
There must be somebody.
India doesn't do well in the Olympics, and they got
That's a
like.
good point.
Are they doing better though?
They're doing
getting
better. Like they're getting better in certain sports. Like what was it, badminton?
Badminton, they're really.
They're getting really good.
Because China is a fast, like not a fast, superpower,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Is it? Is it now classified as
Would it be a
super?
superpower?
I was thinking
Well,
just
they're
American.
they're
they're
Yeah,
part of
they
was
will-
it
they will.
BRICS?
BRICS.
You must take
Yeah.
geography. You took geography.
Yeah.
BRICS.
I remember doing
Brazil, Russia,
Oh,
China, India, South Africa.
Yeah.
Was that like a secondary super?
like the people on the come
It's
up.
just like a
Ali.
No, I don't understand. What's
That's like the.
it's like a trading
that's
relationship.
the
Like
the macho men. Do you know what I mean?
They're on the come up.
Oh
Yeah.
right, so like the ones that are, that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, I thought you said a
that's
second world country.
No, no. it's-
I'm so confused. Like, what? This guy said like South Africa,
That was-
like China. Like,
I think at this point China's more powerful than.
Yeah, it really is.
UK.
It really is.
definitely.
In
But-
the UK, I thought you were going to say the US. Because
Both.
it has
Yeah.
so much sway in the international scene because it trades so much.
Yeah. So I think in the future we can talk about this later, but the future I imagine probably some. I want to say South Africa as well, some African country will
Yeah.
come out.
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Somaliland.
Geographical
Somaliland.
insight.
Truly.
Yeah, Somaliland.
It's on the come up. It really is.
Well, I guess we can all look to the future then. Maybe by next week, Nigeria will become a superpower.
And maybe by next week we'll have a full cast.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And we've managed to upload 2 episodes
In
like the space of 2 days. Well done, Ali.
Thank you.
There's a lot of commitment. Also, and also, I just saw Darren's thumbnail. That's so sick.
That
the
is
Batman
sick.
one.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Check out episode
Beautiful.
7. That was lovely. All right. Thank
Lovely.
you guys.
See you guys.
See you guys next week.
Bye bye.